Most famous alums, former KVOA anchor Savannah Guthrie from the Today Show is sharing some special news with us. She's written a new book, Mostly What God Does, and I had a chance to talk to her recently about the book that is very different from the others she's written and how growing up in Tucson still has a big place in her heart. Well, today, morning co-anchor Savannah Guthrie is out with a new book, but one very different from the best-selling children's book she has written. Her latest book, much more personal, and covers a topic she cares deeply about: faith. The book is called Mostly What God Does, and we are speaking to Tucson's very own Miss Guthrie from New York to learn more about the project.
Monica, it's great to see you. Hi, Tucson.
It really is. And so we'll jump right into this because we're all excited about the new book, Mostly What God Does.
As you said, faith is really important to me. Ever since growing up in Tucson, that was such a big part of my upbringing, and it's something I've carried with me everywhere I've gone. We do live in a world that is difficult and hard, and we see those bad headlines, and you and I work in the news business, we see it a lot, but now everybody does on social media or 24-hour cable news, and it can feel really discouraging and hard to believe. And I think the book is just a series of reflections, personal reflections about ways that we can kind of tap into that love, and if you can really absorb and believe in the love that God has for us, it's hard to contain that within. It's really quite contagious.
Talk about just how growing up in the Southwest, you talk about family being a big part in your relationship, and just a little bit of the reflections on growing up here in the Southwest, a deeply religious place, and how that influenced this book and you.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, it's like Tucson is my hometown, but it's also my spiritual home, and I love being. I was just over there for the holidays, for Christmas, seeing my mom and sister, because I have a lot of family in Arizona, and it just means so much to me. And there's a lot of Tucson in this book. Actually, it's the backdrop, because there's so much from my growing up that is part of this book. And sometimes I think that beauty is one of God's love languages, and is there a more beautiful place than Tucson? I don't think so.
All right, lastly, the book tour. Are you stopping by Tucson at all? We'd love to see you.
Believe me, my mom is like, why aren't you coming to Tucson? So I think hopefully we'll get some swings out west there.
Well, Reed Parks' newest